Folks, in this video I am going to give my perspective on moving to the Tampa Bay area. The do's and don'ts, the areas to go and where not to go, and where I am now. Okay? There's a small chance I could relocate to Tampa, Florida. I'm going to say that after living there, or in St. Pete mostly, but I would not move back to St. Pete again. I'll get into that afterwards. But right now, I'm an East Coaster living in Portland, Oregon. I once migrated to the Bradenton area years ago. Then I moved to Tampa. I saw the whole Tampa Bay area. I just never lived in Pasco, but I visited Pasco. Went as far south as Northport, Punta Gorda, and then up to Newport Richie. I didn't really venture far past that. No reason to. I've been to Lakeland. I went Plant City I went to. I'm going to give the rundown. Okay, first of all, I'm out west right now. I can't fucking stay in Portland area. It feels like a prison. At least one thing about Tampa Bay area, it doesn't feel like a prison as much. You can explore. I give it a B for exploring. Exploration, I give Tampa Bay a B. I do. Whereas another city that might have more jobs and more sprawl and more attractions, in a city with bigger people, with more people, might be an A plus. But Tampa Bay rates pretty high, I would say. There's just areas you don't want to live in, though. But one thing I'm going to make clear, some people might not like the East Coast transplants coming to Florida. The West Coast ones are worse. Take it from me. And I've seen it in St. Pete also. I think they've moved from the Pacific Northwest even, in California, in Colorado, and Austin. And I think they're ruining it. They're making it worse than it was, and even if it was bad, it made the existing problems harder to deal with, because now you got these new problems coming into the area. My opinion. Now, I'm heading to an area more with jobs, so I'm going to have to pay rent and work. Dallas is more than likely where I'm going to relocate to, but there is a small chance I could be brought back to Tampa through a person who might be getting a house. And I'd have to just watch the properties. There wouldn't be much rent involved. So in that case, I'd come back to Tampa. Even though the job economy's not as strong, if I have at least my rent being way down or next to nothing, that's also a consideration I might just take if I go to Tampa. But it's pretty much going to be the Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex. Unless this goes through. I don't know yet. We'll see. But since it's on my mind, funny thing is, I have the old logo Rays hat still. And I have this. I didn't sell it to get rid of it. I got a Tampa Bay Rays jersey right there. I am in the Portland, Oregon area now. Sunny weather, but still miserable, because it's just miserable out here. You have a few months of sun, which I like, but most of the year it's like people are out more, but their social norms just don't change when the weather's nice. It's more confining in Portland, and that's one thing I'm going to say right now. Where I live, it feels like a big prison. Small area, but gridlock up the asshole. It's worse than Tampa. So some of you thinking of relocating to Portland because you like the mountains, you like the bear scene. Well, Tampa Bay got that bear scene now too. They didn't when I was looking in Portland though. When I initially was drawn to this area and sucked into it. Another thing, if you're LGBT or trans, which I am a trans person, I am, you're going to be confined in one spot. Versus being more spread out, which Tampa Bay's a little more spread out for that kind of stuff. Maybe not as much as some other places, but it's spread out. You're not going to be confined as much. Even though St. Pete might have their neighborhood, or Tampa might have theirs, or whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't even really go to gay bars. I just live my life. But even if I wanted to go to them, or LGBT or bathhouses or whatever you want to do like that. In Portland, You gotta be confined to a little area that's where all the protesters and all the whackheads hang over there. The people who destroy stuff. That's where they're at. All of them. They're in the city core area. If you can't live there, it's gonna be a miserable experience. And there's no guarantee it'll go great even then, because you still got the cold weather to deal with there. You still gotta wait in the cold weather to take the buses. So, but when you're driving, you see more, and it's usually not good. Tampa Bay has more freedom than that, I'm gonna say. But I'm gonna get into the areas that I don't like about Tampa Bay, and I'm gonna list some of the cons also for some of you people that need to move there. Number one, scammers, petty beggars on street corners, especially in Pinellas. Pinellas, aka Pilnellas. I already did a video on that, how I think of St. Petersburg and what has happened to St. Petersburg. They're making it for the rich now, but the poor people are out everywhere, and everything's gotten worse over there. Tampa still has that potential too, but it's a little more controlled. Everything's a little more controlled, I think. I liked living in Hillsborough when I was there. I would say throughout the Tampa Bay area, I would recommend Hillsborough and Manatee. Don't go for the trendy places. Don't go for Dunedin. Don't go for parts of St. Petersburg. Don't go for Largo. No, don't go there. Shithole. Where else? Clearwater. Some of that, it's okay, but some of it's bad too. The Pinellas side I'm not as crazy about. It's only good for the beaches. That's it. Everything else, it's really not. I'd rather live in Hillsborough, to be honest with you, and drive to the beaches there. Then come back home to Hillsborough. Again, that's me. That's me. And plus, it's touristy. Not that there's anything wrong with that overly. I like going to those beach areas too. I like Indian Rocks. It's a stunning view where Indian Rocks is. Going like over that bridge and on, what's the name of the street? Walsingham, I believe it is. Goes to the bridge. It's a good view over there. Very good, beautiful view. So I'm giving you the job economy's weaker in Tampa Bay. A little better in Tampa than it is in St. Pete. But back when I was living there, I wasn't as out with myself as I am now. And I ran into more problems. I ran into more scammers. I ran into more shady individuals. When I was in denial about myself more, I just ran into more problems. I ran into more problems with people, and that was a bad thing. But does Tampa Bay overall have more freedom to travel and more diversity of area and culture than Portland has? I say without hesitation. You know? Both areas might have as many people of different races, but it's a culture. It's more white bread in Portland than it is in Tampa Bay still. You got the Hispanic culture in Tampa. You got Cuban, which is one of the best barbecue. But there's also good Mexican if you look for it. I've seen that. Go to Bradenton. Go to some parts of Tampa and go to Bradenton. You'll find it. You'll find good Mexican food in those areas. Sarasota, not as much. St. Pete, the Mexican food's terrible. The closer to the beach you go in the Tampa Bay area, the worse the Mexican food is. I'm going to tell you that right now about Tampa Bay. The Cuban in St. Petersburg, some of it can be good, I think, depending on where you go. But Tampa is where it's king. St. Pete's mediocre compared to Tampa when it comes to food and when it comes to the cigar scene, because I like smoking cigars, you know I do. So, I like Tampa better overall, and I think it's a better place to live for the most part. I think, like, I've been to places like Brandon, Valrico, I've talked to people, nicer people than over in the Pinellas, I think. Nicer. I would say it's nicer. In Cessna, people give Cessna a bad rap. I don't think it's that horrible. Not as bad as people say it. It's not that great, but it's not horrible. Seminole's pretty good on the Pinellas side, I would say. Palm Harbor's pretty good. I like Palm Harbor. I wouldn't live in, what's that place? Not Safety Harbor, but Tarpon Springs. I wouldn't live there. I'd visit. I like the sponge docks. I like the Greek thing over there and stuff, the Greek places to visit. That's cool. And I've been up and down Braden and Sarasota too. Tampa Bay, and I can tell you from personal experience, Pinellas and Sarasota were my least favorites of the whole area. You know, for living, I like the other areas, honestly. The other ones just to visit. That's it. Visit Sarasota, go to St. Armand's Circle. Because say you live in Sarasota, you could be in a not-so-great part of Sarasota, and you visit in St. Armand. It's still a different world. You can visit from 45 minutes away. It'll feel the same as being 15 minutes away and not such a great area as Sarasota. You know, my opinion, though, my opinion. Again, Bel Air's beautiful, but it's surrounded by a lot of bad stuff. Largo, Clearwater, and in Florida, don't always come in with the mindset that black neighborhoods are the 100% worst. That's not true. Go spend some time up Clearwater Largo Road if you think that's the case. I can guarantee you Clearwater Largo is more unsafe than anywhere in old Tampa was for me when I was around there. So, again, while some of these areas like Sefner, Old Tampa, Mango, or Gibsonton's one of the worst, I would say, in Hillsborough. But for the most part, it's better for crime over in Hillsborough. It's better. It's safer. It's better. It's got more culture. That's more my thing over there. Political views don't always matter. A lot of Republicans, but doesn't matter to me, you know. How liberal areas can go to shit. Exhibit A, Portland, Austin, Denver, all those places that the hipsters are coming from to ruin your neighborhood in the Tampa Bay area are going to be, at least with us East Coasters, a lot of us tell you what we think. You might not have liked some of our complaints about pizza not being that good, but this West Coast bunch of people coming in, no, you cannot reason with that. They got their own one-track mind. They're going to do what they want to do unless you beat it out of them. For mouthing off or looking at you or something. I'm not going to encourage violence, but you know what I'm saying. Those people deserve it, though. Because they're the yuppies coming in with their pilgrim mentality. At least I'm not a fucking pilgrim. At least I'm not a Mormon or a pilgrim. You know? I could say that damn much right now. So anyways, about Tampa Bay, just watch yourself with the scams. Finding a good car mechanic might be difficult, though, in Tampa. You gotta look around. You gotta look around. Bradenton, it was fairly easier for me to find one when I was living there. Or other essential services. The Tampa Bay area, you gotta look a little more. I found a good auto mechanic in downtown St. Pete, before downtown. But you got to look, and you got to watch out for rental scammers if you're gonna be renting and not buying. You might be expected to share a house with very shady individuals at times. That I didn't like. That I didn't. But does it offer more freedom in Tampa Bay than some areas? Yes. You can explore. For exploration, I give it a B. Portland, you got the city, but then you got the mountains, like Mount Hood, Mount St. Helens, but it ain't the same. This does not have that freedom aspect that it has in Tampa Bay. It doesn't have the spirit. It just doesn't. You feel confined. Everyone's mean to you and they're rude. Tampa Bay offers more freedom. To those of you that are thinking of moving to these liberal cities and you think they're so good, they're not. And this is coming from a person who technically should be in the LGBT community. And I consider myself trans. So, that's all there is to it. I'm going to go. Hopefully my rant helped. Shoot me a mail if you ever want to meet me. If I come back to Tampa, just write me. We'll hook up or something if you want. I'm open to meeting new people all the time. All the time. So, with all that being said, I'll talk to you later, everyone. Is there anything I forgot? I don't know yet. I'll cover it after if not. If there is any, I'll cover it after.